To Sports Betting by Dummies. I am your host, Patty Parlays, and joining me today, as always, the guy of guys, our football expert, our expert of all experts, Connor. Connor, welcome in.
Thank you. Expert of all experts.
Yeah, it's kind of a play on the guy of guys. It felt really good coming off the tongue, but as you and I both know, it's been a long work week, so I might be losing my mind a little bit.
I think you are. Have you met all of the experts? Experts of experts?
It's you. I mean, that's all I need to know. I've met you, and that's good enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what my wife and I said to each other.
Nice. Love it. Absolutely love it. Unfortunately, our voice of God is not here, so it's a two-man show today. So let's go ahead and get rolling. It is Thursday, so that means we will talk about college football. There's only one top 25 matchup this weekend. It is Auburn at Texas A&M. Texas A&M is a 4.5-point favorite at home. Um, for this game, this one was a tough one for me to go for because these are two teams I typically like to fade. There are teams in college and in every sport that people like to fade. They don't think they're any good. They think they're overrated. For me, both of these teams fit in that category. But if I am choosing a side in this one, I think I'm going Auburn plus the 4.5. I think getting plus points in this matchup is a good thing, and I also think that the strength of schedule for Auburn of late is a lot better than what Texas A&M has had. So I think this Auburn team's just been more battle tested. They've had to go through more adversity. I think that they maybe pull out the win outright, but I'm taking the 4.5 as kind of a buffer there. Anything on that, Connor? I didn't assume so.
Nope.
Yeah.
I got nothing on that. Go
Usually,
college football.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Diz is usually my college football guy that I have conversations with, but he's not here, so we will move on. Again, this has been a rough work week. It's been an interesting work week, and now we are here for daily fantasy on Thursday. And so we're doing things a little bit different. We didn't have time to necessarily go ahead and put together our lineups for tonight. So Connor and I are going to have a conversation here on the air, on live on the podcast, discuss some things, go back and forth, and then kind of put together our lineups as we go. Um, you know me, Connor. I'm a big quarterback guy, so let's start with the two quarterbacks. Carl Wentz. I mean, it's going to be hard not to put him in the lineup. Do you agree?
I don't know. Is he throwing a pick six in his own red zone?
That's fine. That's only like minus 2 points, right? Him throwing a touchdown versus him just throwing an interception in general, there's no difference in point value.
But are we starting with MVP here?
That's fair. I mean, I honestly I was thinking of having neither of these quarterbacks be my MVP.
Exactly. I figured we were going to start MVP, and you start talking Carson Wentz. I'm
I
like,
you,
I have a better choice.
you know I like me some Carl Wentz. I mean, but fine. If you want to start MVP, I think it pretty much boils down to two people, right? Jonathan Taylor or Michael Carter.
Okay. I uh I personally trust the Colts offense a lot more than the Jets. I'd go with
100%.
Taylor.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I mean, we both know the Colts offensive line's one of the best in the league when they're healthy, and they're starting to get healthy. The Jets defense is half baked at best. Um, you got to think Jonathan Taylor's almost a surefire MVP pick.
So then you're saying Carter as well, so we should definitely have Carter in the lineup along with Taylor.
That is what I'm thinking. And so I heard this on Hammer Don on the way home actually. So Mike the White Magic Mike the White Knight, whatever his name is, the quarterback that's starting for the Jets this
Yeah.
tonight. Last week he came on the scene. He won them a game, but he only had like one pass that was more than 15 yards in the air. So they did a lot more of like, crossing routes, dump offs, stuff like that. So I think Michael Carter benefits greatly from that. I think Michael Carter had something like 96 receiving yards last game. So I really think that Michael Carter, he's really starting to come into form as a professional running back. He's on a team that's going to be doing dump offs and handoffs because they have a no name quarterback, right? They don't have Zach Wilson trying to force it into things. They're trying to play smart football, and I think with this Colts defense too, they're going to have to do that a lot. So I almost think Michael Carter's a for sure insert into the lineup, and I don't know what kind of value we would be getting on that, but I would assume he's going to be in there.
Why isn't my heartbreak Flacco starting this
Ah,
game?
oh, I know. I wish Flacco was in there, but and maybe Magic Mike doesn't quite do it for him, and maybe after halftime they come out with footsteps Flacco, the elite quarterback that's just gonna carve up this Colts defense.
Yeah,
Now that would be a wild insert into the lineup, as if you put Flacco in your in your daily fantasy lineup, and he just ends up going off.
you're like the White Knight's going down within the first 5 minutes, and they're gonna throw in Flacco.
You're thinking DeForest Buckner's going to come in, break Magic Mike's leg, and we're going to have to go Flacco.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. So are you planning on having either quarterback in your lineup?
Well, I'll see how much there is left over.
Yeah.
So far, I am definitely going with both running backs with Taylor as the MVP. So we're looking at 29,000 of the salary so far, 16 for Taylor, 13 for Carter.
Wow, those are up there.
Yeah,
Those might be the highest, like most expensive running backs we've seen in a while.
yeah. We have, let's see, 31 grand left.
For 3 players.
Yeah.
That's not
You
terrible.
go with you go with a receiver like Pittman.
So here's my thought on that. Michael Pittman, he's the clear number one for the Colts. He will get the targets. He will get the receptions. But I'm concerned that too many people are on him. He's no longer kind of this secret. I almost look at possibly going with if you're going for a Colts wide receiver, I would look at someone like Zach Pascal. Pascal's not gonna get the deep ball, but he's good for 3 to 5 receptions, and I think he might be a good. I think he's a red zone target. I really do. Pittman's kind of that more explosive player that'll get you the longer plays, the boom or bust kind of plays. But I think Pascal's kind of your middle of the road. Could get a couple touchdowns. If they're really covering Pittman and double teaming Pittman. I think Pascal's kind of the underlooked option in this lineup.
Okay. What about receivers for the Jets? Would you look at any of them?
Yes.
Crowder maybe or Mims?
Crowder was the one that I had in my mind. So Corey Davis is out tonight. He was out last game as well. With Crowder being out last game, not Crowder, with Davis being out last game, Crowder led the Jets in targets. So Mike White, he trusts Crowder. Crowder had like 9 targets or something crazy last game, and I bet you can get Crowder for pretty good value tonight.
He's at 11 grand.
Oh dear God, man, woof! They maybe they've adjusted those cost points, those values. They know what people are looking at.
Yeah.
What's our baby Mo Cox at? What's Mo Cox looking at?
Ooh, he's at 7,500.
So I heard this as well, and this is kind of where my mind is on this. We're gonna think about that. Mo Alley Cox, he's been killing it all season. Last week, he let a lot of people down. A lot of people were high on Mo Cox last week. He kind of had a subpar game for his standards. And in overtime, when Wentz threw that terrible interception to basically lose us the game, not the one at the end of the game where he threw a pick six, but the one in overtime when we had the ball and we were trying to drive to get the game-winning field goal. Mo Alley Cox was livid. Like, you could tell he was just pissed off. He was in a bad mood. I think it's because he had a subpar game against a rival team. I think he may even been mad at Carson for making a stupid throw when Jonathan Taylor was wide open. I think this could be a game where Mo Alley goes off. I really do.
Okay, so then would you save the money and go for him over someone like Crowder?
I would tend to say yes.
Crowder's at 11 grand.
Right. And if you go with like a Mo Alley Cox, you're saving 3 or 4 grand, and that could even open the option for you to go with a Carl Wentz or a Magic Mike.
Okay, then would you possibly take both?
Both
or would you go
Crowder
with
and
Pascal?
Cox.
Yeah, Pascal's at 8 grand.
Hmm. Could you go all three? Could you go Pascal, Cox, and Crowder?
I mean, that's the rest of our lineup with two running backs. You're not going to have any of your quarterbacks that you wanted.
I know it, but maybe maybe this is a situation where Magic Mike struggles against this Colts defense. Carson doesn't have to really throw the ball all that much. Maybe when he gets down to the red zone, um,
To be
I'm
honest, I was thinking about not going with a quarterback.
yeah, and honestly, my two quarterback strategy hasn't paid off of late. I don't think I've made money in one of these contests in like five straight. So
Yeah.
I'm everything's off the wall for me now. Like there's no formula, nothing is working. I'm okay with doing that.
Okay, so we're looking at Taylor, Mo Alley Cox, Crowder, Carter, and Pascal with 4,500 left over. You wouldn't trade any of them for
Woo!
anyone.
That is a lot of money left over.
You're sure you wouldn't trade one for uh,
Wentz.
Pittman?
Oh,
No,
Pittman.
I was gonna say Pittman.
If I had to trade one for Pittman, I would think
Hmm.
I would do Pascal for Pittman. I would think.
Even though you had that rant that you would take Pascal over Pittman.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Are
a
you
toss.
mostly just looking for value or saving value?
Yeah, yeah. I was worried that Pittman wasn't going to be able to be brought in there, but if we're not taking a quarterback and we can get Pittman, I mean, it's hard to go
Um,
against the arguably the number one receiver, the starting running backs for both teams, and then Mo Alley, who I think is going to have himself a game.
so we're a grand off from getting Pittman.
Oh man. Okay. Okay. So then, I mean, we
I
can't.
was gonna say you could drop Crowder and keep Pascal and get Pittman, but I don't know that you want to drop Crowder. He's going to be the number one receiver easily.
Yeah, yeah, and I could see a situation where if the Jets get down early, the Colts were up early, 14-0 on the Titans. If the Colts get up early, and they have to start slinging the rock around, you would think Crowder would be the one to kind of benefit.
So your options are you take Mo Alley Cox and Pascal, or do you take Pittman and Mims for the
I
Jets?
I think you take Mo Alley Cox and Pascal. I really do.
I just don't know that you could trade one and still get great value elsewhere.
Right, right.
Pittman's the next receiver that you would go after if you wanted to gain some ground.
Yep, yep.
Okay. All right. 4,500 left over. You're okay with leaving that on the table?
I'm okay. Hey, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I think they kind of trick you into thinking you have to spend all that money.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, especially as us being like accountants, we're like, but you have $4,500 just sitting right there. Like, why aren't you spending the money they give you? Because
Exactly. They're not going to give you as much next year on the budget if you don't use it all now.
oh, an accounting joke. You gotta love it. So there you go. We got our daily fantasy lineup.
All right, so just to recap, we got Taylor MVP, we have Carter, we have Mo Alley Cox, we have Crowder, and we have Pascal.
I'm trying to
And
enter this.
$4,500 left over. Don't forget that.
Yes, do not forget that, please. That is the important thing. I'm trying to go and enter this real quick.
Okay,
It's good podcasting.
it's great.
Yeah, gets people going. Why doesn't Michael Carter have a picture in this thing?
I have no idea. I was wondering that as well.
As long as we're all on the same page. Flacco is listed as $10,000, Connor. They might think he's
No.
maybe he's got something going.
And he has what is it, the Broncos uniform?
Uh,
I think he has a Broncos uniform on in
yeah,
that picture.
yeah, he does. That's fantastic.
Yeah. No updates at all.
None, zero. Yeah. Okay, now we have an announcement to make. It has been brought to our attention, and Connor said this originally, but I'm terrible at listening, so get that out of the way now. But the Best Bets competition has become not best bets material. It has become a competition to see who's going to buy someone dinner, essentially. So we're doing crazy parlays, we're doing high odds picks. And so shout out to Tyler because he coined this phrase. We are now calling it the dumbest dummy competition. And the dumbest dummy has to buy the winner the dinner, essentially. So same kind of format. We're just changing the title of it here, and then we will still have best bets for you, and we're gonna collaborate and work together on these best bets and try to do, build some bankrolls for some people on those best bets.
We're going to have actual best bets for you.
Yes.
That's what we're getting.
And generally speaking, those best bets will come in ranging from like plus 150 to minus 150. So, bets we feel really comfortable in. You're getting decent value on it still, but they will be single bets. There won't be parlays. There won't be anything crazy in there. So just a heads up on that. So to recap the dumbest dummy competition, I went over 3 on Monday. I basically am starting off November the same way I left October, and that's just being ice cold. Connor, how did you do on Monday?
I went 1-3, so I'm down almost 2 full units because the one that I hit was at plus 108. So I covered one of my losses plus 0.08.
Yeah. And then Diz isn't here, but he sent over his stuff to me, and I believe he is like positive 0.4 units. So Diz is in the lead for now. But as we know, it's a long month. So
yeah.
to put it lightly, it is a long month.
Oh, should we state the follow-up that you did win the last best bets? It was still undecided. We need to point it out. For those who didn't know, my parlay that was hanging in the balance for the win ended up with second place. I'm fine with that as long as I'm not buying dinner. So I tried to go for it all.
Yeah. But hey, another win for me here. But again, I don't know that I hit a bet in the last like 2 weeks of that competition. That just shows you kind of that crazy parlay that I hit that just took me to stardom. But so let's get into our dumbest dummy competition bets for tonight. I have 2. The first one is a boost actually on FanDuel. It is Michael Carter and Jonathan Taylor each to score 1 touchdown. Now, I think plus 400 for that is tremendous value. I mean, we talked about it, but we basically have, both of them in our daily fantasy lineups because we think they're going to go off tonight. So, yeah, I really like that. And then, sorry. And then my other one, now this one's my off-the-wall one that I'm really just kind of going crazy with. I have the Colts defense / special teams to score a touchdown tonight at any point in the game at plus 330. I know the past couple times the Colts have played, they've forced turnovers and they've gotten really, really close to returning them for touchdowns. I think at some point they're going to do it, and I think tonight's the night where they pull it off. So those are my bets for the competition. Connor, do you want to go ahead and tell us your bets for the competition?
Yes, I have 3. One is a boost. I feel really good about one side of it and 50-50 about the other. So I'm going with the boost Penguins and Golden Knights to win. Goldens play the Flyers. They're favored. I honestly think it's a coin toss. Penguins either show up or they don't. It's going to all depend on the Penguins, how they play tonight. Flyers are still really aggressive, although they lose to teams that they shouldn't lose to. Kind of odd. It's going to be an odd game overall. Next one I've got Sabres over the Kraken. So Sabres are underdogs, if you believe that.
Is it at Seattle?
It is at Seattle.
I bet that plays a factor into it, but yeah.
But it's plus 158.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Sabres. If the Kraken win, I'm happy. The Sabres win, I get money.
There you go.
I'll take the plus odds. Last one is This game was also a coin flip, and I took the one that had the plus odds. So I went with Lightning over the Maple Leafs. Who even knows who's going to win this game? But I'll take the plus odds, and this could give me the edge against you guys as well if I keep taking these plus odds. I'll take a coin flip any day on a lot of these.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense.
Do we want to read off Diz's? I
Yes.
can do that. I have them up.
Okay, perfect.
If you want to read off his same game parlay, I can read the other two. So he took two leg parlay, Panthers and Golden Knights to both win. He got that at plus 209. And he's also taking a football bet tonight. He's taking the over 45.5, Colts versus Jets at minus 105. And then he also has your same game parlay. Go ahead.
Yep. So the same game parlay for tonight, he's got it at plus 418 odds. Jonathan Taylor, anytime touchdown scorer. So again, we're already halfway to that boost, and that basically at the same odds if that hits. Colts minus 5.5 alternate spread. Michael Pittman 70 plus receiving yards, and then Carson Wentz 225 plus passing yards. So he's got that at plus 418. And if you're like Connor and you're like, that sounds like Pat McAfee's boost, that's because it basically is. The only difference is Pat McAfee took Jonathan Taylor to score 2+ touchdowns tonight. So depending on what you're feeling, you can get a little more juice if you go 2+ touchdowns. But yeah, that's so there's that. And then let's see. So I really only have do we have any best bets for tonight, Connor? What's feeling best bet worthy for tonight?
I really like the Flames over the Stars. Calgary Flames. They've been unstoppable. They're minus 146. It's not terrific value, but I think you can pretty much cash that one.
Well, and I like the fact that the Flames are at home, and that the Stars have been kind of faltering. The Stars started out really, really hot, and they've been kind of off their game a little bit. So I feel good about that as well. Let's go.
The last game that the Flames had was at home, and they just came off a bad loss. So I think they're going to come back and pull it off as well.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Cool.
Hey, what you got?
I really wanted to. I mean, do we just go with the one? I mean, nothing really.
Nothing in basketball? No money lines? No.
Oh, let's see.
Not even the Thunder plus 10.5.
I want to. I want to so bad. But then again, it's also the Russell Westbrook revenge game.
And you pointed out before, they might do better without LeBron James.
Let me check the starting lineups real quick. Well, you're right because with LeBron's not on the floor, then you're more free. You have more options, right?
Yeah, you have to try anything you can to win that game. You can't just rely on LeBron.
Yeah. Let's see. Ooh. Wait. Sorry, I'm all over the place. So yeah, LeBron's out. There's a couple NBA games that I have my eyes on. I think I'm going to take both of them if you agree with them. So we are going to go Thunder plus the 10.5. Okay.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and lock that one in. Now this other one, and this one again goes out to my guy Tyler, and we've talked about this before, but the Miami Heat at -6 over the Celtics. The Celtics have been absolutely horrendous this year, and it's at Miami, and Miami has basically their entire squad. Miami's come out on fire. The Celtics have come out ice cold. I like the Heat in that matchup quite a bit.
So you're taking the money line?
No. The Heat, I'm taking -6, which I think it just jumped to -6.5.
Right. I'll let's say -6.5.
Yeah, and it's -110 for both of those NBA bets.
Okay.
So there we go. We got you your best bets right there.
3 of them.
3 of them.
All right.
Now, it is time. I have a Hail Mary same game parlay of the day for the people. All right. Again, it's called a Hail Mary for a reason. We're getting $10 on FanDuel. I had it risk free to win $529.89.
Okay.
Michael Pittman, anytime touchdown. Also, you'll notice that with I said, be careful with Pittman. That's because a lot of people are on Pittman tonight, including myself. So I'm kind of giving myself a little bit of a hedge there. But Ty Johnson over 13.5 rushing yards. Ty Johnson is the Jets' backup running back. But 13.5 is not a lot. And I think I heard he sees like 30% of the snaps during any given game. So I hope he can, he might be able to get that in one single run. So, but we'll see. I mean, who knows? I got Pittman over 68.5 receiving yards. Diz and Pat McAfee took him at +70, so I'm getting a few extra yards there. Jonathan Taylor, anytime touchdown, of course. Michael Carter, anytime touchdown. And then finally, Jamison Crowder over 56.5 receiving yards.
I like that Crowder edition on there.
Yeah, I think there's good value in that pick. That little last tidbit.
Yeah, my same game's not even close to that great a value. I wanted to play it a little cooler.
Yeah, no, I understand that, and it's not many people are kind of like as crazy as I am. So whether that be a good thing or a bad thing, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So Connor, I have something that I want to talk about, but do you have anything you want to get off your chest before we get into my
I want
call?
to hear what you want to talk about before I have anything to say. What would you like to talk about?
Okay.
With sports?
Yes, it's sports related. Yes, and this is. I talked to you a little bit about this at some point over this week or whatever, but the Henry Ruggs situation. T's and P's out to the victim's family. Everyone involved in that whole thing. Was very scary. I believe they said that he was twice over the legal driving limit, over the legal limit, and his car was going like 150 miles per hour when he crashed into the person that ended up killing that lady. And so he's obviously going to jail. I don't know for how long or if it's even been decided yet. He got a DUI. But that's the exact reason why we have to stop treating things like nothing bad happens or nothing happens, even if it's like not even to the fraction of what this is. Like the DUI, a DUI is a DUI, right? You're driving under the influence of alcohol or something, and even if it's between a felony or a misdemeanor, I don't know all the legal terminology or anything, but the fact of the matter is this is life or death. And a coach of a elite program, he has a misdemeanor DUI because he's over the legal limit, but we're just going to give him a slap on the wrist. What if he had crashed into someone and killed them? These things are completely preventable. Don't drink or drive. You have Uber. You have all this other crap. But the fact that some of these people who get any kind of DUI and still have a job, when people's lives are literally at stake, people are losing their lives to people that are drunk driving, and yet people are just getting slaps on the wrist or, community service or whatever, it is absolutely ridiculous. There should be a zero tolerance policy on it, and T's and P's out to that victim's family. That's all I got. I had to talk about it. I had to bring it up. Henry Ruggs will probably never play in the NFL again, and he doesn't deserve to.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say he's probably done.
Yeah. It's despicable, and I even think I saw like he lost, a good friend to a drunk driver at some point in his life, and then he turns around and does this. It's stupidity. It's preventable, but it should be zero tolerance. That's it.
So
I'm done.
that's it. That's it.
I had to bring it up. I had to bring it up.
All right. To end it on a lighter note, I wanted to bring up news from the hockey realm. It's not breaking news.
Okay.
But we had talked about it today. I'm sure a lot of people know about it. The Golden Knights are making a comeback.
Well, I mean, you can call it a comeback because they were. I mean, they were in the Stanley Cup last season, literally.
I call it a comeback because the beginning of the season has been
far from what they would have imagined. Yeah.
You lose to teams you shouldn't. You beat teams you shouldn't.
Yep.
I don't know. No one knew who they were, but they're coming back. You know who else is coming back? And he made it known himself. Any guesses? Patrick Kane, the man.
Ah, yes.
The man is back. Was a Blackhawks fan before the Kraken stole my heart.
They were your first love, Connor.
Patrick Kane will most likely always be my favorite player in hockey. Always loved watching him. He's great. He's very dynamic. Just had a hat trick the other night. He wanted to show you guys he was back, right? So hats off to Patrick Kane and welcome back to the NHL.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I think it's safe to say that the Blackhawks' only chance of winning games is if Patrick Kane just goes off.
Yes.
I'm trying to look because they played last night. Patrick Kane did have a goal and an assist last night. So again, literally, I mean, they barely lost to a 9-0 Carolina Hurricanes team because Patrick Kane put the team on his back.
I wonder if that was his injury. His back's hurting.
Yeah, from carrying the team too much. The Kraken need to make a move and go get this guy before he goes somewhere else.
Oh man,
you would make
my life.
You would get his jersey instantly.
I would. Yeah. I'd be first in line to get that jersey.
100%. 100%.
Make that phone call tonight. Be sure to make that. No way they would ever trade him just because of the last two games. But I would love that. For people that take it too literal about the back issues, no, he was under COVID protocol. For those who didn't know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just like Aaron Rodgers coming up.
Yeah, man.
We can talk about that tomorrow when we're making football picks because that devastates my picks.
It's wild is what it is. That is wild, but we will give you a little bit of a tease. We will talk about that tomorrow. Thank you all for listening, watching, whatever you're doing. Feel free to check us out on Twitter and Instagram at SportsBetByDumb. Also, you can watch us live on Twitter for now, but we will be going to solely just to YouTube. You can find that by either looking on our Twitter bio or going to YouTube, type in the search Sports Betting by Dummies, filter by channel, and we will be the first option up there. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers so we can get you guys a custom URL. But yeah, hopefully tonight's better betting for us. We've kind of hit a bit of a cold streak. So hopefully tonight is profitable for everyone, and we will see you all tomorrow for Football Friday.